So the girl thing, our attraction to the opposite sex, they were the standards then. They were very intelligent girls, very, very, very. The most time they would beat you blue-black in class, so you couldn't afford to miss them. And they were very mouthy girls with very tiny, tiny legs. But you always liked some, but you couldn't tell them. So until we got to secondary school. When we got to secondary school, we had this opportunity of October 1st and Children's Day. The beauty of it, as and Ebo. Ebo is supposed to be a Yoruba language. I don't know if it's a correct word. It's supposed to mean party. Is that true? I don't know. But that's what we used to call it, Ebo. So now the opportunities to go to the girls' schools, you must be a member either of the Dramatic Society, of Debating Society, or Student Christian Movement, or from sports, or on 1st October or May 27, which was Children's Day. I was a member of the Dramatic Society, and for a Form 1 student, for you to qualify to join the Dramatic Society, the first weekend of the school, we had Fox's debate. And the debate topics were like, beans is better than rice, or my father is better than my mother, or rain is better than sunshine. You're supposed to go and prepare for the debate and come for it and debate your fellow year one students. So your diction, your courage, and your ability to deliver will determine what status you gain in school. So me and my friend Sylvester, who is in England, and the President Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly, Masha, we were outstanding. So I joined the Debating Society and the Dramatic Society. Now, this Debating Society enabled you to debate and hold your own with people anywhere you went to. And sometimes you were debating against girls. I wonder what's happening to this country. We were finished. So you now had to, I was a very shy boy, trust me. I almost died severally from shyness. As a Dramatic Society member, the only role you are entitled to serve, to act in, as a Form 1 student, was slave, the role of a slave or that of a child. And there were so many contenders for this position. So once you have got to if you get into the list of actors, the day you're going for the excursion, you'll be so prayerful until you get into that bus. So the first time I went for a dramatic session where I was acting was Harbour Road Girls. They've changed, I was complaining last week, they've just changed it to Methodist Girls' School. So obviously we got there, you're beginning to I remember how I was dressed. I had my white second image jeans. I bought it from Superbird then, ankle length canvas shoes and very tight, skin tight. And we got there, me, Marshall, and Sylvester, big boys. And we now saw these three girls. The girls at that age, they also work in groups, just as the boys work in groups. So, but we had paid one of our seniors to teach us two things, how the latest dance steps and to teach us how to chase a girl. You cram your lines or you memorize your lines on what to tell the girl. And the line was simply this. When we saw the girls, I excused them, normal all of them. If you excuse one person, all the girls will come together. Because if as a girl, if you were still talking to a boy alone, you were a bad girl and it was a big deal. So I excused one of them, she answered me and the three of them came. So I leaned against the wall, just as I had been taught. And I said, hi, my name is Eugene Abel, I'm from Okika Grammar School, we're here. And what's your name? She said, she told me her name, I won't mention her name now. I said, please, I'm thirsty, can I get some water to drink? She said, okay. Then I know little girls that they giggled amongst themselves and they ran to go and get the water. So now my own guys were just standing by the side providing covering fire for me. So when the girl brought the water, three people bringing one cup of water for you to drink. I now took the water and sipped it, just as I have been taught. I said, oh, thank you very much. This is wonderful. This is a wonderful courtesy for you and I appreciate it very much. But actually, the truth is that it's not the water. I just wanted to use this to know who you are and ask for you to be my friend. So while I was doing this, my friends were engaging the other two girls. We started, I think that's where I had my first professional chasing. Though some other guys forgot their lines. After you have done this chasing, the most important part of it is the day after. Because the drama takes place on a Saturday. Sunday you're in chapel. Monday afternoon during lunch in the dining hall, letters will have come in. So the first set of letters, you have sent yours. And so the first she too has sent hers. So the first set of success cards begin to come in. Now the beauty of it is not the success card. It's the collection of the success card. So you send her like 7, she will buy and send you like 7. There were no phones then. Now there were phones, but we didn't have mobile phones. So now you're under the table after all the rigors and wahala before you eat your meal. People have eaten. They said the mail prefect comes and begins to call the mail. To receive a letter was a big deal. So now everybody's expecting all those who went to Harbour Road Girls to receive letters, both from 5 and from 1. You, the Form 1 boys, you're crouching under a table while the senior boys are standing or sitting at their table, and they now call Eugene Abel. You run. The man had seen that you have 7 letters or more in your name, but he will give you the honor. So you run like 50 meters to the end and collect your letter. Everybody, hey. Then as you're getting back, Eugene Abel, you come back, hey. You go back. This 1,500 students. As you're going, you call it, Eugene, hey. It was big deal, like, see, you're calling your friend. So that calling of the letter session was a big deal. So who is sending you? So sometimes we found out some people had to do postcards and send to themselves so that they too also could belong. My neighbors had their cousins come to stay with them from Lagos, and I actually loved one of them. And she was like officially like my first girlfriend, but it was purely platonic. I don't think I even told her, but every time we would be together on the balcony. There's a divider on the balcony. We'll always be at that point in the balcony talking to each other. Every point. She was in ACM just Archdeacon Crowder Memorial Secondary School. I was at Grammar School. I was in Elele. They were in bureaucracy before they went to Elele. I was the real person, but we never really dated as we expect that to be. And there was this lady I just found out last year because I posted her name online on Facebook because I wanted to see her. And she was in Holy Rosary. Her name is Regina Giadon. She just took a liking to me. She was in Form 3. She had this massive afro. So she was quite attractive. So as your schoolgirl boss comes down, she comes down, like you notice her. Massive afro, senior girl. She just called me. She just took a liking to me, said, "You be my pet." I said, "No." I said, "No, you're my girlfriend." She would laugh. I'll share her friends. They will always roll. So, and like those days, the dining hall, and when you're hosting the parties, the guys are sitting on one row, the girls are on one row, and a song plays. Imagine me for one boy standing up because I was sure Regina was there. I would just stand up, with my tight second image jeans. So, "Can I have this dance, please?" And she would stand up and hold me, or whatever dance steps that. If it was Jai, we'll move. It was Ladies' Night. The moves are there. You do them, and we'll dance. And my days were made. Those were lovely moments, and they were platonic. So after secondary school, I didn't see her again. I've been searching for her online, and eventually, her relatives contacted me that she passed on some years ago. I did banking for like 24 years. I did manufacturing, meaning I worked in the manufacturing sector. I worked in banking, Crown Merchant Bank, Student Bank. I did Sky Bank. We were part of the building of Sky Bank. Access Bank, we built it from scratch. It was a one-branch bank, and we built it. At UBA, I eventually decided to bow out because it's not what we found when we came in. And I decided to learn to do business. I'm not a businessman, I'm more of a process person. But I said, let me come and start learning how to do business, because eventually, the higher you go in the industry, you will need to leave one day. And I was invited to come to work in the Amnesty office, on the Amnesty program, Office of Special Advisor to the President of Niger Delta. I worked there as head of data. Eventually, I managed education desks. I inherited about 850 students. By the time I left, I had about 4,025 students. When I came on board the desks, they were doing schools in Malaysia, Russia. But by the time I left, we had upped ante. We were doing Ivy League schools like King's College, Royal School of Surgeons, Northeastern University of Vermont in the US. By the time I left, I had 232 students in America. I had over 1,500 in England, and all over the world, even up to, I had one student in Australia. I had people down in Trinidad and Tobago and so on. So recently, you must have seen the president celebrating. My students who made first class were celebrating at the presidential villa about last year. Even though they were trying to take those credits. It's not their credit. Now we do the work. Now we do the work, yeah. And because of the way they've managed them wrongly, the program is in tatters. One of my students even died. Yeah, a little girl. She's from Ogoja. Yeah, she was one of the best in the class. But because I had a couple of C-class, and the Caucasians don't know how to handle it the way we do. So we used to smuggle drugs I used to carry drugs from here, which was unauthorized to do that, just to keep them going. Yes, when we left, they couldn't manage them well, fortunately. But I told myself when I joined that program, because I didn't want to work anywhere for anybody, that my profit and benefit from that program will be the number of people that will see through that program and get them graduated. So the advantage, it took me to very odd places like Russia and the rest of them, even though my family's, we've been traveling for decades before that, but it was quite an experience. It showed me how the average Nigerian thinks. It exposed me to why Nigeria the way it is, the state of the bureaucracy. Let me just explain this. Every day you hear civil servants, pensioners complain, the governor never pays, so federal government never pays. But you were a bureaucrat, a civil servant. If you don't sign that check, the governor will not do anything. Because the governor is a politician who is just came in. You have been groomed by Nigeria for 30 years plus to secure and protect the bureaucracy. You will now play second fiddle because you want to be loyal and will not insist that a comprehensive pension program be put in place, that when you leave that office, you're just believing that it is you that they will favor, that you make billions. And how many offices are there? Very few. So that's the thinking. And it goes all the way down. So today you see thousands of pensions. Yes, I feel sorry for them, but I also believe that it is what they sowed that they're reaping. Yes, because if you had put your feet down and said, Oga, do this thing now, this is for us. That's your guaranteeing and ensuring that posterity provides for you. But you don't do that. The politician, as governors, if you live in, is insisting that they build him a house in Abuja, build him a house in Lagos, and build him a house in Port Harcourt. And he puts all kinds of allowances to himself, plus the security vote. When this administration of President Buhari came back on board, they called everybody who worked in government, was branded as a thief. So I was arrested, detained in the EFCC, even though I was not head of finance, I was not head of procurement, I was not head of admin, I was not head of all those people. None have been prosecuted. That's in Nigeria. And as I speak to you here, my wages have not been paid. I'm in court with them in industrial court. Yeah, that's Nigeria. But I will insist. So I came back to Port Harcourt. We came back, and after my stint in Abuja, I found out that something I predicted had happened, which was kidnapping had gone up all there. And I told them some years ago that there's a need for those of you who call yourself Port Harcourt people to create a war chest. The war chest is for you to have funds that you can move systems into operation to protect yourselves. They laughed me to scorn that day. But the day one of our wives was kidnapped, they said, Abel, you have to do something, you have to do something. That's how I started the end kidnapping campaign. So the end kidnapping thing, just as we know how vicious the elections were. With hindsight, because I experienced 1983 when Buhari was in government, and how we used to queue for milk and sugar by 3 a.m., how they suddenly came up and changed currency, and without thinking it through, and threw people into poverty. That administration, they didn't think it through, and they contradicted themselves with the 53 suitcases, which I don't know if they've been able to explain it, 53 suitcases of cash, which was allowed to get into this country. They didn't think it through. You had 100,000 in the bank, you could not access your 100,000. So your 100,000 is 20,000, and you needed to pay bribe. And so you'll be on the queue, soldiers will be flogging you. The people suffered. So when they told me Buhari wants, at the age of 70-something, and he wants to create miracles, it's not about good intentions. I worked on the amnesty program, a banker. Everything about me is a banker. And I leave my office 1 a.m. because my students are in different time zones. By 6 a.m. I ride my bicycle, sign in. By 7, I'm back on my decks daily. I was doing this for three and a half years. So then you're telling me that the president who oversees everything with the magnitude of rot I had seen at 75 can do that. I remember the couple of times I went to the villa when President Obasanjo was there, when Atiku had left, because Atiku was handling most of that part of it for him. When they had those their differences, Obasanjo is awake 4 a.m. meeting visitors, because he goes to bed around 8, by 12 he's up, and you have those meetings till like 3, 4 a.m. before he wakes up around 6, 7 to play squash and go. So it was quite hard. You need to be strong, you need to be very disciplined, and you must have the acumen to digest and read files and think. If you listen to Obasanjo, you know that the Obasanjo today is a very more informed man than he was 20 years ago, because he can discuss the economy with you, he can have debates with you. Yeah, you might not like him, but he's been able to grow himself. So, but President Buhari has, yes, the quality was integrity, wonderful, but do you have the strength to do all this? I didn't say it. So I said there will be a problem here. So I started the Feed a Family thing. The Feed a Family thing, I approached the churches. I told them, look, there will be hunger. Want this hunger because they will be busy pointing fingers. They were chasing money. Don't forget, they were threatening people. Instead of, they should have deceived people to bring their dollars and currency to the banking sector, whereby they will say, if your dollar is not in a bank after October 1st, we will not accept it. Imagine, people will have brought their billions of dollars, will have flooded instead. Instead, they started threatening people, and money does not like threats. Money left, and in hard currency. So your $1 million in 2015, which was 160, 175 naira million, today is 350 million naira. So if you had 1 billion naira yesterday in the bank, you have become poorer by 50% in real time. So when I came, I said, look, people are going to get hungry. If you order for, not everybody is going to have money. So why don't the churches create food kitchens? And the food kitchens I asked for was that, look, just put a table at the entrance of your church. In the church, you come in. If you had 8 bread, after you're filled and your family is filled, just bring half of it or a portion of it, tie it neatly and come keep it on that table. If you ate beans, pack a portion. But don't deny your family. No. If you have a bag of beans to bring, yes, but we don't want to wait for that bag. If you have a bag of it, just count some few cups, tie in a bag, bring it, just drop it on that table. After the church sermon and service ends, they just announce, if you don't have food, if you're hungry, please go to so place. They will have moved the table there. So a couple of churches picked it up. Now, and I now approach a couple of people that, look, I sat down, thought about it. I said, okay, look, I went to my one market, made bags. I used to work in a plastic factory, so I know some of those things. I made bags. So I put 10 cups of rice in it. And in the bags, I like to cook. Now I'm a woman rapper. So I have Maggi, thyme, curry, vegetable oil. I realized that everything you need to cook has been reduced to minimum size. Coke self, I've done Bob Solo, whatever they call it, so that even the poor man can afford. It's about volume and it's a retail business. It's about turnover and volume. So I found that everything you needed to cook the rice was in a sachet. So I could pack it, including pepper, which is tomato. They come in pepper puree, Cameroon pepper, and so on. So by the time I assembled everything inside, I cannot provide you all the protein in it, but that's my bag of rice, my packet with all the ingredients inside. All you need is a pot, water, and fire. It will feed a family of 4 for 2 days. Yes, and you have lovely jollof rice coming out of it. So I started raising money. I've done over 1,000. Now, you know that during the season, festive seasons, food is everywhere. But before the festive season, people are hungry. One of these days, and I did it because of the biblical injunction. He said, I asked you for bread, you're not going to ask for clothes. He said, Lord, when did I ask? He said, the man who asked. Yeah. So, and he didn't say, feed my Christians. He said, my people. So Christian, atheist, native doctor, Muslim. So I raised money, buy the products, pack them with some children. One day I went to the Yoruba mosque at my one, and they were just finishing prayers when I got there. So the imam came out And said, you brought rice, you brought food for us. I said, now say bring down 30 packs. As I brought it down, they just rushed it and tore them. So rice poured into the sand. So I saw people. I started weeping because I saw grown-up men packing the sand, not more sand with small rice, and carefully pouring into their pocket. I wept because I said, lots of them, this kind of people, if you give them 1,000, they'll kill somebody. So it means there's this amount of hunger because my food is for indigent people. 20 months ago, August, we started seeing black suit, particulate matter in our houses. Initially, a lot of house helps lost their jobs because we didn't understand. This house are not clean them. So we clean them. How? See. It was 2 months later that we realized that there was a problem because everybody was facing the same problem. So there was a sudden introduction and intrusion in our lives, and it was called soot. When we investigated, we found that it was particulate matter arising from illegal refining. But what did we find? Governments at various tiers blaming each other. Who were the operators? The same boys. The boys. We did a street walk. We came together, did a protest about stop the suit. We did that. They promised us, the Rivers State government said they had set up a committee. They are doing research, that they'll make their findings public and so on, that they set up a committee and so on and so forth. So we gave them time. 1 year passed. After that, the rains came. So when the rains came, everything, because once it rains, you don't see it if everything goes down. Really, so we didn't, but the truth was the house or floors were still dirty and things like that. What did they do? The government sponsored a rally against us that were being funded by the APC and even did a video. It was lovely because they didn't know they were helping what we were doing. Later we took a date for that. We set up chat groups and including government officials. We even till tomorrow, we still attend meetings at the invitation of the Rivers State government, just to show that we are not antagonistic. The fundamentals for it to be dealt, for all levels of government to get together and live up to their responsibility. So which we did, and the APC people after post-event started abusing us on radio that went there to, that's stupid, but it was lovely. But what the beauty of it is that the cream of Port Harcourt came out and spoke out for the first time. Yes, I know the fears of the politicians. They don't like anybody to control the narrative. The kind of rally that happened on the 9th of April, if they had to organize, they would spend like 10 million. But we didn't need to spend any money. And the world came to notice it. All the international, CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, China Global Network, all of them, regionally, AIT, channels, everybody. Even those who were forming posing, every day, till tomorrow I'm still granting interviews concerning this matter. Have the problems been resolved? No, we've given them this, it was 25 days yesterday, so we've started a health campaign because it's getting worse and more emboldened. And we intend, the World Environmental Day is coming on the 5th of June. And today I was telling them on the sister network that they cannot interview. We will not keep quiet. By next week, we will start petitions and we'll even go to court, carry out class actions where it needs to be done. Yeah, because segments of society, basic things that do not require money, which we expect as responses from government, has not been done. And for instance, there's no kerosene in the States, so the people depend on artisanal refiners for kerosene. The simplest thing we needed to be seen to be done for PPMC to come up and say, look, we heard the allegation, we are correcting it, because if there's affordable kerosene in the market, there will be no need to go and buy a substandard product. The diesel that people use, the affordable diesel, is from artisanal refining. That's what they use in Abuja and Lagos. That's how far. So people are investing in the business. It is highly syndicated. All segments of society are involved. And it is highly profitable because NNPC is tactically providing effective demand by denying this place of supplies. I've said on national TV, I stand to be disproved. Yeah, the military say they are doing their work. No, you cannot be a midwife and babies are dying every day. It means you're inefficient. Every day we see the plumes of smoke and soot all over. They're less than 5 minutes away. So that's it. So it's a continuous process for me. So that's where I am. Then musically, I have a project called THD, got 34 years ago with Convoy Sinclair. And basically, I found that there's a lot of talent in Port Harcourt. The Lagos factor, if you're not, your talent, I said, look, while we were growing up, we said the media was us. But social media today is in your hands. So why don't you use it and blossom? Yes, Lagos still has control and influence, but you can reach the world. People have broken through, like the Timayas and the Timi Dakolus. Yes, we knew the roles we play in Timi's when he was competitions and so on. Gratefully, God brought all of us together. So I think that for anything great that people can come together, it will be. So for that project, it's called To His Glory. So what we do, we ask you to do a song in worship of God. If we read your lyrics that you wrote and we think you are not led, we set it aside. So today we have 40 recorded songs. And on the 3rd of March, we launched the first 17. We had a theme song and a theme video whereby a verse of each song was used to make what they call a melody, a theme song. And we had 16 songs by 16 artists. And that project, we had known names like Afi Douglas, Push, Patino, Ibiso Edwards, D'Antonio, Tonya Josiah, Nelia. Then you had some young new people like Tifine, Queen, aka Hero, Karina Spice, Ledo, about 16 of them. And initially when we started, people were making mockery of it, particularly the political class. Today they understand the power of it. And the birthdays now, people now even send me photographs in advance. And if I don't celebrate them, they complain. They don't even want to find out if I have data or if my phone is good. But the beauty of it is you see people happy, something positive. So irrespective of where you come from or your standard or status or whatever, if you're my friend on Facebook, on your birthday, I download 3-4 photographs of yours, do a collage and upload it celebrating you. If I know a little thing about you, I tell a story about the positive sides of you and I tell it, and people are happy about that. So I do that amongst other things which has to do with my music and things like that. So, community fitness. Yes, it was started by my friend Steady DC because I was now featuring fit workouts at the stadium, and he too was also working out, and he had these 5-3 people which he used to run all the way to Elelewa, which is like 10 kilometers. So he invited me to join. So today for Steady Run is a community fitness group. We meet every Sunday, and what the essence is, we're just providing a platform for people of all walks of life to come together and work out. We're doing it for community healing because this state has been abused politically and greatly divided. So we're doing it for political healing and to heal the community. So average attendance every Sunday is about 150 people. And we've hosted celebrities like Maria Oyali and even the last Big Brother, people like Efe. Although that my own girl didn't come. What's that her name? So the troublesome one in the last group. T-Boss, we're Team T-Boss. No, but the rest of them came and they met them, lovely guys. All of them have been to Steady Run. And we've replicated it in Bayelsa, in Calabar, in Asaba, and Owerri. So we're soon, and Lagos. So Abuja is asking us to come. But I'm for more of a local thing, but it's for community fitness, for community bonding, where people come together without status. And it's a voluntary thing.